At the end of the day, it was COVID. I got laid off, and I kind of thought about what can I do. I had around 50,000 followers on Instagram for being a flight attendant and traveling around the globe and taking pictures in China, in Thailand, in Europe, in Africa. And I posted a lot of pictures in a bikini as well. So I started doing modeling for like $100 an hour, something like that. And then one day, this photographer in the middle of the photo shoot tells me we've shot a lot of socks and leggings and stockings content. He wanted me to do a lot of feet stuff. And he paid me very well. And he told me, you have really pretty toes. Did you ever think about opening an fans? And he's like, yeah, you can just make money taking pictures of your feet. You have really pretty toes. Your toes are beautiful. You have tiny feet. You can start doing it. Just put pretty nail polish and do it. And I was like, you know what? At this point, I live in LA. It's extremely expensive. Why not? I like my feet anyway. I already post pictures of my bikinis on Instagram for free. Why not trying to make money out of my other pictures of my bikini and my feet? And I did it. I opened OnlyFans at the end of April 2020. Again, one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life, just like moving to the US. I'm so proud of myself. I've done this decision. It changed my life completely financially, and it just gave me stability, and I met great people and girlfriends for lives, and it really made my relationship with Nick much stronger. It was just amazing. So it started with no face, just feet for like half a year. And it was pretty decent income for just feet.
Yeah.
And then I realized, wait, if I make this amount of money for just showing my feet, what can I make out of showing my boobs or showing my face and show who I am? Which was a huge break. It was a huge deal in Israel when they found out who I am, that I'm Israeli. It went all over the newspapers, all over the news, all over the media. I was actually on the global news, like the
What are I'm just like, what are the headlines? Like, Israeli girl joins OnlyFans? It doesn't seem like that's...
She moved to the US and now she's a porn star.
Yeah, the porn star the porn star gets clicks.
Yeah, a lot of, it said in Hebrew that now I'm a porn star. So, and that's before I even started doing sexual stuff. It was just a bunch of topless and bikini and feet and, you know, like teasing, softcore, taking my thongs off in the shower when it's really dark, stuff like sensual stuff, like boudoir stuff. But for them, it was like big sensation. That's the word I was looking for. It was a huge sensation in Israel. I found out myself all over the internet, and like one day became from having 50,000 followers on Instagram to 250,000 followers in like 2 weeks. And they're all from there. Like back then in 2020, my Instagram went from getting like 10,000 views on a story to like 80,000 views on my stories.
So how did you feel when those headlines started coming out?
The only thing I cared about was my family, honestly, at the beginning. It was everyone. It was my first boyfriend contacting me, telling me that I'm lost and I need help, and if I need to go to rehab, if I'm on drugs, if I need any help, if they should call the police and get me out of where I'm at. It was my dad texting me. The worst text ever. It was almost my birthday that month when it got huge, and he was like, "You're the biggest disappointment ever. I never want you to be my daughter. I don't want to talk to you ever again."
Oh my gosh.
It's my girlfriends from high school that are now married with kids, and they're my age. They're all like, "This is disgusting. I don't want you to be next to my kids and family." To my mom that was like, you know what? Are you happy? Are you healthy? Are you sober? No one is taking advantage of you. Don't care about what people think. Are you happy? That's what my mom told me when I called her crying that this is huge and I'm all over the news and I wanna hide in a basement for like 2 years till I'm no longer part of the big news there. And she made me realize that if I wake up in the morning and I feel good about myself, I don't care what it shows on the media. It could show a lot of other things. Last week I went viral on influencers on the wild. In the wild, it's like a Instagram.
Oh, I know that Instagram account. That thing's hilarious.
I was with my slave, just bought a $12,000 Chanel bag, and we were taking pictures with the Chanel bag in front of the Chanel logo, and the comments are like, this girl looks like she has a Shein bag, not a Chanel. She's so trashy. Those girls are taking uses of men. They take advantage of them. I feel bad for this woman. She looks so ugly. She looks so old. And I'm like, I'm so used to those comments where I'm like, okay, you're just dying to do what I do, maybe. Or maybe they don't, you know, maybe they just don't agree with my lifestyle, which is acceptable. But why being so mean on talkbacks? Like, why do you have to write all the negative stuff? Just don't comment.
People I mean, people tend to view everybody else through the lens of their own experience. I think that's like the biggest problem. Like people see like someone doing what you do and they think I could never do that. So therefore I would be very unhappy doing that. So therefore she must be very unhappy doing that, because I can't imagine that somebody else in the world would think differently, would see things differently than me and have a different experience. And that's just like, I think that's where like a lot of people kind of fall short. And that's something that I've learned in my many years on this planet, is just like recognizing that like we're all different. We've all been like, we're a mix of our like how we've grown up, the like literally our genetic makeup, like so many different things, and different things are different for different people. And you don't really get to say like whether or not someone's doing what's right for them, you know, just because it's not right for you. It's just that projection, which I think is really unhealthy. But also too, I mean, what I'm talking about right now, you know, when earlier I mentioned about the social stigma that's like really damaging. I mean, like all those things that those people are saying to you.
It's horrible.
Like that's really awful.
Comments
And that can
evil.
be really, and if you're not tough and you don't have thick skin, like that can be really hurtful and damaging.
Oh yeah.
You know? So, I mean, I personally, like, I never read the comments.
I try not to. I used to cry, and now I'm just like, okay, I look at their profile sometimes to see who they are. It's kind of like middle-aged women that just got divorced and they have kids that, like, I don't know, they post pictures of their cats, and I'm like, they call me names, they call me fat, they call me ugly, old, they called me taking advantage of innocent men, user, I don't even know, so many names. And I'm like, this man wanted to gift me that gift, and if not me, he would do it with another dominatrix. So I didn't force him to do anything. I didn't have to have sex with him for that. I'm not forced to do anything. And some of the comments are like, oh, she has to spread her legs right after. I'm like, nope, did not. So, and again, and even if you do, if you want to, why not? Like, it's your life, it's your body. If I want to have sex with multiple, you know, partners, which I have girlfriends on porn industry that have done gangbangs and they loved it and they had fun. So as long as you're a mature adult person and you do what you want to be doing and you're comfortable doing it, so why judging? You know, it's just you can see it as an example of how I grew up with my community, you know. So I could have been like one of those people and judge, but I chose to get out of this bubble and live my life, which is very mentally like refreshing. I feel so much better than I felt as a child, as a teenager, that I felt so like secluded, and I really felt like a prisoner in my own house every day. I felt like I'm pretending to put a mask on every morning, and now I feel so free. Like I can put a costume on and do a cosplay and I still feel myself. So again, when it got super viral last week, the video of me with my slave shopping in Rodeo Drive, I tried not to read the comments, but sometimes I read them just to remind myself that, okay, there is people like this out there. Maybe I should be careful, not always being super open-minded, because I am very open-minded. So I try. It is hard.
Do you have a relationship with your father at all now?
No, I don't think I spoke to him in a few years now.
I'm sorry. Do you hope that will resolve itself someday?
We're so far apart at this point. Like, I'm sure you've seen my pictures on Penthouse, and that made him super mad. So I don't think it's fixable at this point. Maybe one day. He wants me to. In his opinion, when I turned 24 last year, he texted me that I should have had 3 kids by now. So in that community where he's from, you have to have like 8 kids, and you have to be a housewife, and you have to get pregnant every year. That's why my mom had. Every year she had a child. So when I'm 26, my brother's 25, my brother is 24. So she was literally pregnant every year. And then she told my father, I don't want to be pregnant anymore. I just want a year break from my body. And he's like, no, God wants you to be pregnant every year. That's your job as my wife, to get pregnant and give me kids.
I mean, God, talk about, you know, people talk about how you must be trafficked in your situation and you're doing things for your body that you don't want. And like you hear something like that, like, I mean, talk about your mom had no agency over her body. She didn't get to choose whether or not she, you know, was bearing more children. That was somebody else's decision. I mean, that's like...
Sounds worse than porn to me.
Yeah, kind of.
A lot of. But yeah, so in his opinion, I should be a mom to like at least 3 kids by now and just, you know, serve my husband at home.